For years, once I was diagnosed and we found out what was going on, I used to say, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what I'm going through. You know, I'm the one that's suffering here. And finally, after about a year of this, one day, she kind of let me know, yes, I do know what you're going through. I go up when you go up. I go down when you go down. I'm there with you. That, I think, for me, underscores the need for programs like Family to Family to educate. Our families go through this illness with us.
My sister and I had had such a horrible relationship with each other because I was blaming her for her behavior and just thought she was the worst sister in the world, and would like to put her on the moon and just, you know, leave her there.
One time, I lost my nerve, I lost my cool, or whatever you want to call it. I got very violent with George. Violent to the extent that I picked him up and threw him out of the house, out of the steps, down the steps, everywhere. Well, that thing made me feel that afterwards, as she was getting more symptomatic, that I did it to him.
When your spouse is ill, there's always the option that you can leave. And there's pressure from, or at least suggestions from people and your other family members who think that that's an option, that's what you should be doing.
Marriages can be very, very deeply affected. Siblings fly away. That's just what happens when a very severe illness hits a family. So we've got to make the togetherness work, and we've got to bring people back together again.
The thing that I want people to know most is that we're already isolated. We don't have to deal with this all by ourselves. We can come together and pool our energies and draw things from one another.
Lots of times I understand that when people have things go wrong in your family, that either you split apart or it brings you close together. And I think with the help of Family to Family, that we did very definitely come together.
I think the strength of the course, because it's taught by family members, is that they bring to this litany of insider knowledge about how we are going to handle the trauma of coming through this very, very difficult experience. And I think the strength of that is what makes this unusual. And every family must have this knowledge, because it's the only way you learn how to cope with the problems that come with these illnesses and learn how to reestablish your own life in the midst of this chaos.
We meet once a week for 12 consecutive weeks, in the evening usually, for about 2.5 hours. And in the course there are sessions that are mostly lecture with time for discussion. And then we have some skills workshops, things to look at our problem-solving skills, teaching those skills, communication skills. I mean, we need to learn new ways to talk with our relative.
Each of the weeks has a unique theme and reason for being. And it really just brings the people, the class, through this process, teaching them about the diagnosis, the medicines, the physics, the biology, the dealing, the family sharing, all the different kinds of things, problem solving, all the different things that the individual courses have taken, but it steps them through at an appropriate time when they're ready to listen.
One of the things that they talk about in the Family to Family problem-solving class is that there are solvable problems and unsolvable problems. And a lot of times family members will bang their heads against the wall trying to figure out how to solve a problem that is really a result of the brain disorder. And as a result, when you take the course, you learn what are things that you can change and what are things that you can't hope for change.
In our situation, that it's a family member, my mother, that it's not, you know, any of our faults that she has a mental illness. We didn't do anything to her, and that it wasn't her fault or she didn't choose to be that way. but we do have to rally around her and make, you know, the situation as comfortable and as livable as possible.
I think one of the biggest things that prevents people from coming into the family-to-family program is the fact that they feel so guilty. They feel that there must have been something that either they did or didn't do that's caused this illness. And I think that one of the things that I know one of the things that we really focus on in family-to-family is that it's not your fault.
I think the family-to-family organization and the classes and the interactions with each other is very helpful. I just wish I wish I'd known about it 20 some years ago.
If my family members had only known about this course, taken the course, it just would have been, it would have been life-changing for our family.
I have yet to talk to anybody that's gone through it, not just my own students, but anybody that's gone through this class that didn't say it was the best, not just the best thing, that's like a qualitative, it was the thing that helped them most.
It made a difference in my life, so, and it's definitely making a bigger difference now that I'm teaching the class. So part of it, it's just the excitement of going every week, going to that class and see people changing. You know, little by little, some. Others, you know, you could just see very amazing results there.
It meant a lot to me. I'm sure my son knows that I changed a lot after I started going through the conferences, the classes, because I know how to deal with him. I know when to stop. I know when to talk a little bit better and softer and nicer and adjust to what he can do.
There's not enough that we can say about family to family. I just wish that people out there who are looking for an answer, this is definitely where they would find the answer to a lot of their questions.
The moment that my family was educated, the moment that they knew that it wasn't their fault and that it wasn't my fault, that this was truly an illness, really helped in my recovery process. I cannot overemphasize how much it helped to come home and to talk openly, because now that we both knew what was going on, and now those discussions have gone from fights to I'm having a bad day today, and how are we going to deal with this? I believe it saved my marriage.
It was just profound, and I was just speechless when I left. And I remember coming back to the NAMI office and telling our executive director, I will do whatever I can to make sure families find out about this program.
When you realize there's something wrong, is doing something about it. Finding, really what you end up doing is you end up accepting that you have a problem and it's just not going to go away. And also you realize that you don't have the means. You've tried all kinds of things and you need help. So you look around for help. And that's life-changing.